we're going to try to get through the rest of how you finish your project, and then I'll do a separate video on how to embed this into a PowerPoint presentation. But so I've now added a few more images, and I've decided that all of these were still images, and I want to put in at least a little bit of video because I have a funny video of my daughter teasing her horse. So I want to put that in. So I drag the clip over to my sequence box, but oops, that's not where I wanted it. I didn't want it at the beginning, so we go ahead and erase it. And you always want to have your red cursor on the mark where you want to bring, or you want an action to happen, in this case an edit. So I just find the point there. And so now I'm going to bring this in. Oh, but oops, I didn't want to mess up my audio. I just wanted to bring the video in. So again, we undo. Click off A1 and A2 so that they're not highlighted, and now we can bring the clip in and bring it into our timeline. But this is really long and not all of the clip is interesting. So I only want to have the clip after she kind of tickles her horse and the mouth goes up and then comes down. Now when you're making an edit on a moving video, you always want to try to do it on either the right before an action starts or right as an action ends. That makes a compelling video editing point. So because the mouth has just gone down and she just finishes touching the horse's nose, that's where I want the clip to end. So I want to get rid of the rest. So I'm making my end point here, taking my cursor then all the way down to the end of the clip, and I'm going to get rid of all of that. So let me go back to right where that ends. Oops, that jumped all the way back on me. Let me just fix that real quickly. Okay, so that's where I want to make my edit mark. It's right there, so that we're only going on to the next video. And then I want to delete the mark section and close the gap. So now everything should run together. Do a quick little view of it. Okay, and so we know that it worked. So let's say I'm happy now with what I've done. And I do want to say one of the great things about Lightworks is it saves your work as you go. There's no worrying about, oh my gosh, I didn't hit save. It just does it for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's say I want to add one more title here to the end of my project. So I put my cursor where I want that to happen. I go to Effects again. Under here, I want to go to Text. And I want to do something a little bit different. Let's do one where it's kind of off to the side. And we're going to apply the effect. And so I'm going to end my presentation with the title, "And So Many More," because what I've showed is just a few of my animals. And then I go down, oops. And then we want to get rid of that, so I'm going to go back to, hit the wrong button. Go back to where that effect is. Oops, I just brought full screen. I don't like working in full screen. Let me just try to get that off again. And again, this is one of those little quirks that it just does not easily want you to go back to where you were. That may add another one on top of it. We'll see. So let me just X this all out. Get back to where I was. There we go. So let's try that again. Never hurts to go back. Things happen. Do this again. What I have to remember is go down to subheadings. So before I even forget, let's delete that. And then go up to the main heading. And I'm going to change that to "And So Many More." Dot. And then click out. So now I've added my end title. Okay, but I still have way too much audio here, so let's start taking care of that and doing some of our transitions in between and in and out. So what I want to do, I can click audio back on because I've done my video, so I'm going to be getting rid of I'm not worrying about getting rid of video. I'm just getting rid of my audio at this point. So we click to where we have black, make an endpoint, go all the way to the end, make an out point, and then remove. So now we have video and audio that's at the same rate. But I want to be able to fade in and out of my show at the very least. That's very common to fade in and fade out. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to do, because the song automatically, just the way it's mixed, fades in. I don't have to worry about doing an audio fade at the beginning, but I need to do a video fade. So I'm going to go here into my beginning, and I'm going to make an edit in. And then I'm going to go down and make an edit out where that clip ends. There we go. Okay, edit out. Now I'm going to take my red cursor and put that in the middle of that video clip. Come down here to effects. I want to do a mix effect, and in this case I want to do a dissolve. So I have it on dissolve. Here I have it on marked section because I've now marked the section, and I want to apply the effect. And so now, get that X out off the screen and get rid of my edit points so they're not in my way. We can watch a little bit and see that we have now faded in. Okay, so at the end I want to fade out both audio and video. So again, I'm going to make my edit marks. Okay, and out. We'll do the video transition first. So in the middle, go to effects, dissolve, apply effect. But now I need to do the same thing for my audio. So leaving things where they are, the cursors don't have to move. We go to effects, we click audio, and I want to do a crossfade. Again, it's in the marked section, and apply the effect. So now at the very end, we can go back, get rid of our edit points, they're not in our way, and just watch to see how that looks and sounds. And there we go. But just to show you one other type of effect, I want to put a transition in between, let's say I want to do one in between my cat and my dogs, because obviously cats and dogs don't like each other, right? So I'm going to go in between the two, get yellow highlighting. So now I've come up onto a screen where I see both of the images that I'm going to be doing an effect between. I click on effects, and let's pick something that we haven't used before. Let's go to mix. We'll do, let me see, let's do a wipe. Okay, and then current clip, and apply the effect. Okay, and let's see if that, I already tell you that didn't work the way it was supposed to. So let me do that again. This is what has changed significantly in this particular update is all of these effects, and that was how you used to do it. So just give me one more chance here to get this set up. So again, we've got now a yellow kind of joining of the two clips that you can see on the screen. And we're going to try this effect one more time to get the transition to go between the two. Okay, so let's again go to mix. And hold on one second. Okay, so sorry about that. Let me show you again. So just ignore what I just said. Like I said, that was their big change. So you're going to do your transitions just the way we just did with the dissolves. So you find the two clips that you want to go between. So in this case, I want to go between my cat, and that's going to be my endpoint. And then go into the dogs. And that's my out point. Move your red cursor in between the two clips on that line where it's changing. Go to your effects, and we're going to pick an effect. Let's do a squeeze. Okay, so again, it's coming up in the marked section. Apply the effect. Get rid of our cursors. Well, now the cat is squeezed off by the dogs. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with the whole project at this point in time. So now we're going to have to export it. So we're going to go to our into our menu again, our tool menu. Okay, and we're going to want to do our export. And so this is sequence 1. Remember that we're working on. Let me get that off here. Sequence 1. And so we're going to want to export that, and we're going to give it a name, and we're going to tell it where we want it to export to. And you could export this to you could actually directly take it to YouTube if you wanted to. Lots of different places that you could do it, but because we are going to try to embed it, we're going to keep it on your computer at this point. So you can either do what I was doing, which was the export sequences, or you can go to the editor preferences gear icon, click export, and then you're going to tell it where you want to export it to. So I'm going to put it in on my desktops to make it easy, and put it under my pictures. Okay, or I guess it wants me to create a new folder. That's new. Okay, so create a video folder and then click OK. And that should export it to that particular folder. So let's go see if it has done what it was supposed to do. So I'm going to just minimize. And of course, it didn't do it that way like it was supposed to. So let's try it the way that I normally do it, actually. I normally go here to export sequences. I'm exporting sequence 1. I'm going to put it in, we can just put it in documents, that's fine. But I need to give it a name first. So let's just call it O'Brien Acres, which is the title of the project. Okay, and start. And this is doing the process where it is reading all your different transitions that you've made. It's converting everything. It's rendering all the effects, which means it's taking all that information about crossfades and dissolves and all that other information and applying it to the video rather than just being able to see it on the screen, and creating the entire sequence. And that's why I say in this rendering exporting process, it can take a very long time. So that's the first thing I always warn students, that it can sometimes take overnight to render very complicated projects. And you want to make sure you've given yourself that time, but also there can be glitches in the exporting process that'll cause it to fail, cause it to shut down. Now, this program, knock on wood, has been very good for me when I've used it. But like I said, it is a brand new version. Most of it was just in the graphics, the way the graphics were used and the transitions were used. But this should allow you to create a project that will then be able to be embedded into PowerPoint or load it up to YouTube, or however you want to use it, put it on a flash drive once you get it onto your computer. And so what I will show in my next video is how to embed this into your PowerPoint presentation so that hopefully you will have a seamless presentation to give for the class. I'm just waiting here. I'm kind of biding time for this to finish up. So it says it has exported, and you should be able to click on it and then see where it is on your desktop. Okay, and so there it is. And again, if you have any questions or you have problems, please reach out to me. Dr. Calhoun has my contact information. I will help you in whatever way that I can.